Oh, hello there, and welcome to a special holiday edition of Not Your Mother's Podcast. My great friend Trenton is along with us once again. Really excited, as always, for you guys to check this one out. We talk about Christmas traditions, reading Luke chapter 2, of course. We also talk about Christmas lights, and do you open presents the night before or the day of, or a little bit of both. Also, real tree versus fake tree. I hope that you don't use a fake tree. At any rate, later on in the podcast, we get into some differences when it comes to the Midwest and the West Coast. I think you're going to find that very interesting. If you have some long-running arguments about food and societal differences between the two, you're definitely going to enjoy that portion of the podcast. And my friend Trenton, being a California native, weighs in on In-N-Out. Gotta check it out. Thanks so much, as always. Really, really, really love you and appreciate your support. My name's Stuart. Once again, I have my great friend Trenton on the podcast with us, and this is the Not Your Mother's Podcast Holiday Edition. Cheers.
Cheers to that.
So, Merry Christmas to you, Trenton.
Yeah, wait, you can say that, right?
Are we allowed to say Merry Christmas? I don't know. These days.
Happy fucking holidays.
Happy.
Whatever it happens to be.
There's a. I like country music. And Brad Paisley. That's my first drink tonight.
Wow.
That's
all right, you're
getting out. There we go.
All right, guys.
Is this how Trenton's gonna?
Yep.
It's gonna be double
here
bang
on
for
out.
Trenton. At any rate, Brad Paisley has a group of guys. One of them was recently passed about a year ago, but they're called the Kung Pao Buckaroos, and he has a track on one of his CDs, on the Christmas CD. And they're trying to sing all these Christmas songs, and they start bleeping all the words, like not just Christmas. They'll bleep. What? Shit, now I can't remember. Oh, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. You can't say that. I'm dreaming of a Caucasian holiday. We Three Kings. Of Orient, or you can't say Orient, that might offend Asian people. And then you can't say, what's the song that has ho 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 in it? Is that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
The Christmas ones, yeah.
Yeah, well anyways, it's a song with ho ho ho. And then they're like, well, why can't we say ho? You might offend some women. So yes, Merry Christmas. It's funny, the transition for me, because not being, let's say, the believer that I was at one point, I actually would do a thing where anytime I type Christmas, especially on social media, I would type capital CHRIST, because it is about Jesus. Everything's about Jesus.
Like Christ
Mass. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Oh,
and
God,
people thought it was. I
was. Do you write Xmas?
I do every once in a while, just to like fuck with people.
Take the Jesus out of this.
Just to fuck with them. Yeah, it is funny to see that change in me. Like I don't do that anymore, and I don't even see the point before would have been, that it is all about Jesus. But now that I understand better, like it is originally a pagan holiday, and to say that Jesus was born on December 25th is kind of ludicrous, because even religious scholars will say he wasn't. So we already got way off track. Whether it's about Jesus or not, if it's about Jesus for you, for anyone, I know it's not for you, but if it's about Jesus for you, cool. Good. Have fun with it. That's fine. Read the Christmas story on Christmas morning. That's great. Like, honestly, enjoy it. That's fine. If it's not about Jesus for you, still enjoy it. It's fine. I don't care.
Yeah, give gifts, light your tree on fire. I had so at my mom's house for Christmas, we would always read the Christmas story every morning. And it was, and
you couldn't open presents until it was read, right?
And we would sit, and it was like, it was worse than whenever I would have to wait for them to finish prayer at the start of meals, because it was like,
oh no, it's long. It's a lot. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and then you can eat.
Yeah. So, and they'd be like, and may it bless the meals and have nourishment for our bodies. Yep. And then I'd be like,
and give that amen.
And thank God for grandmas, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
I had a list of missionaries I would always pray for.
How many?
Oh my God, no, it was only 3 families, but wait till you hear that. This just connected, dude, from years. Just connect. I know the names, but the very first name, you're going to laugh at so hard. So the last 2 that I wouldn't like pray by each person. It was just the name of the family. And God bless the blank and blank and blank. So the Hasslers was one of the family's names, and the Champlins was one of their names. But the first one, their last name was Doobie. I'm not kidding you. I'm not making that up.
Oh,
if any of my siblings or my parents watch this, they will attest. The Doobies, the Hasslers, and the Champlins, I would pray for.
Was there brothers?
The Doobie Brothers. I'm sure there were. I'm sure there was at least one Doobie brother for sure. They're missionaries. Don't you know how it works?
Oh yeah.
You have to have 6 children at least.
Oh wait.
Before
I don't know how it works.
Before you can go on the mission field, you have. So like, if I have friends, whether they're in the ministry or just friends from college, anytime their kid amount is getting up to 4 or 5, I'm like, dude, you're gonna have to go to Africa soon. Like, that's the rule. Like, as soon, this is a joke, but it's a thing with missionary families. They always have a fuck ton of kids. Why that is, I don't know. You're going to a third world country. Your kids aren't going to get good education. They're not going to have good health care. But let's make a bunch of them before we go.
Well, you know,
I'm sorry. I know someone's going to watch and be like, that was me, though. You're an asshole.
They're going to be like, I have 18 wonderful children.
What's the family? The Duggars. I am Mrs. Duggar.
Oh, God.
I'd take Octomom over her. Anyways.
What? Really?
Oh, hell yeah. She's hot.
Octomom?
Dude, have you seen her? She got fake lips and everything.
Wait, did she get porn or something?
Yes, she did. I wasn't going to say that, but she did do that. Listen, people, this has nothing to do with...
Link to the porn in the description.
This literally, like, I have things set out for us to talk about. This has nothing to do with any of it. We're not drunk. We're not high. I don't know why we're talking about this, but it's fun. So... the special holiday edition, back to our decorum, which we never had. I do want to talk, we are going to get into some different things, differences between the Midwest and the West Coast, which I've always enjoyed that subject matter. Lots of fun fights around that, whether it's culture, food, whatnot. But first, I want to get in, because it's close to Christmas. I don't know exactly when this episode will drop, but maybe it'll be right around Christmas.
Right on Christmas.
Christmas Day, motherfuckers. Yeah. Boom. Actually... I might actually do that.
This will be Santa's gift to the world.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank us. So, Christmas, growing up for me, definitely you had to read the Christmas story. That was a big thing. I'm not super mad at it, but there were definitely points in time as a child where I was like, fuck this. Like, I don't understand. Like, Mom and Dad, like, I love my parents, but, like, they didn't want to, you know how it is. They didn't want to be up that early anyways. So you're waking them up, at least for us, I was waking them up at like 3 in the morning. And they're like, bro, we just finished putting your presents out. Can you let us sleep? So we'd do that about 2 or 3 times. And then when we finally drag him out of bed, which I'm not mad at him for it, I'm just like, now I have to wait longer. Like now...
Wait, don't you have a kid? You don't understand this yet?
I do, but I'll make her read Luke chapter 2.
Oh yeah, that's...
So not only did it take it forever to drag them out of bed, then once they're out of bed... you still have to read a whole chapter of the Bible before you can open your shit. And there were 4 of us, and so you had to take turns. You can't just get greedy. By the way, I love Christmas with all my heart. I know that's not how I'm coming off right now. But I love Christmas to death. Anyone that knows me knows I love Christmas way too much. However...
yeah, okay, this is his Christmas sweater that
yes.
he didn't dig out of, like, his bottom drawer or whatever. He dug it out of his clean... recently washed laundry.
This is one of 4 now, yeah, that are all very similar with the snowflake pattern. I'm divorced for a reason. So, thanks. I'm glad he got it, because I was like, he's not getting it. That one landed. I have to edit that shit out. Didn't land. Anyways, then finally we get him up, and then we have to read the Christmas story before we can open a single damn present. So one year I was fed up, and I was like, you know what, fuck this. I'm gonna get my siblings, and we're gonna read it. We're going to read the Christmas story at 3 in the morning, and then we're going to go wake him up.
Oh my God, you had a Christmas mutiny.
Yeah, we did. We had a total Christmas mutiny.
We the captain.
And it didn't work. They were like, no, we don't believe your shit. You didn't read that. I'm like,
did you actually read it?
Yeah, I did.
In your
hearts
of hearts.
In my heart of hearts, I will swear on whatever I got to swear on, because I don't swear on Bibles. You got a Quran? No.
Oh my God, that's so much worse.
At any rate, we really did. We really did read it, and my parents didn't believe us. I don't blame them. We're a bunch of lying little shits, so I don't blame them. But I do remember one year that, yes, the Christmas mutiny where we did, we definitely...
An attempted Christmas mutiny.
Yeah, attempted, yeah, it was failed. It was a failed coup, for sure. Anyway, so I do remember that about Christmas, having to read Luke chapter 2. But I have wonderful memories from Christmas. I think for me... growing up, and I'll talk about it every time we have a podcast, but growing up as sheltered and as different from everyone else as I did, that was kind of my that was my one shred of, not one, but one of the small shreds of normalcy that I had, because everyone else had Christmas too, and everyone else got Christmas gifts. And while I wasn't listening to the Backstreet Boys and Christina Aguilera and Britney Spears Christmas music, that was the one time of year.
Well, that's good.
That was a blessing in disguise. But I'm saying I didn't listen to any pop Christmas music where all my friends did, right? But that was the one time of year I'll never forget this, and this is probably why I have an addiction to Christmas music, and I start listening in July. It's no joke. But I think the reason I love it so much is because that's the one type of music where we kind of got to stray from the beaten path as far as the very like ridiculously rigid music standards that we had, where we couldn't listen to.
So wait, are you saying your first secular music? And I didn't realize this,
loosely,
but whenever I say the word secular...
Ooh, that's sinful.
Well, no, not just that, but people that are secular have no idea what I'm even talking about.
Yeah, because
I wasn't allowed to listen to secular music when I was growing up. And they're like, what do you mean?
And that's secular, that's someone you would categorize as a secular person, is saying to you, well, what does secular mean?
What does that mean?
I really think it means worldly, is what it means.
Yeah. Or normal.
Yeah, well, normal,
normal.
Yeah, I think
exposed to culture.
I think if you're the person that's using the term secular, it is normal. Yes, it's not normal to use it. You're using it to describe normalcy.
Yeah,
and you found a different word instead of worldly, because it's not necessarily wicked, but it is secular.
Well, why does worldly mean
bad?
Wicked. You live in
the world, not of the world, my son. All right, back to Christmas. So Christmas traditions, always the night before we would go and look at Christmas lights. I remember that. Not that we didn't at any other time, but it was a thing. Like, we would get hot chocolate, and the night before we go look at Christmas lights. Of course, Luke chapter 2, and I do remember, I remember one year, we were, twice actually this happened. Once it went one way, once another, but I remember one year we just didn't have money for Christmas presents. And we wrapped up, my mom got us wrapping paper, and we wrapped up our own toys and traded them to each other. That's a good memory. I love that memory. And then another year, my parents sat us down. We were going to Christian school, but we were having to pay for it. And we're going to Christian school, and my parents sat us down and said, either we have money for Christmas presents this year, or we have money for school. It's one or the other. And we decided we went with the school. And someone, I don't know if they told someone or someone found out at a church in, I feel like it was in Atlanta, found out about it. And,
wait, Atlanta, Georgia?
Yeah, well, there's a network, like the IFB.
Damn good hearing, all the way in Atlanta, Georgia.
That's quite a network of in the IFB. In any cult, there's a solid network. So, someone found out, or we told someone, and I remember going out, because I had a paper route, and I remember going out the door, it wasn't Christmas morning, but a few days ahead of time, to grab my papers, because they would leave me my papers on my front door, and then I'd fold them or whatever. Well, me and my sister had a paper route, to be fair. And I went out the front door, and there was a box as big as me on the front doorstep, and there was a couple of them. And I was like, what the hell is this? I didn't say hell, because I love Jesus at the time.
What in tarnation?
What in tarnation? So I went out, I saw that box, and I was like, this is quite strange. This is not my papers at all. And I told my mom, she came out and looked at it, and sure enough, they had sent that church had sent us like a boatload of presents that year for Christmas. Really cool, really cool.
Okay, so do you feel bad at all that you just called it a cult? And
nope.
they sent you a whole bunch of Christmas presents
without
even knowing you, because they cared about your Christmas day.
A benevolent effort does not override the criminality that existed in that cult. So no, I don't feel bad.
Criminality.
Yeah, dude. Definitely criminals.
Huh.
We talked about it on the last podcast. I was just playing it earlier.
I don't.
Not the guy that led we were way off topic.
Yeah.
The guy that was the leader is in a federal pen in Kentucky right now.
Well, the guy. It wasn't the guy. The people wrapping presents for you aren't in prison right now, I don't think.
One of them is, yeah.
Like the person that
the pastor of the church. If he's not, he was. Yeah.
Wow.
First name is Wayne, and that's all I'll say. At any rate, yes.
Is the last name Gacy?
No, not at all. I'm sorry to disappoint.
So way off subject on Christmas.
Dude, it would have helped if you didn't just write a topic being fucking people. Why does it just say people?
We'll get to that, okay? Let me explain. Anyways, Christmas traditions. This is I cannot drop this on Christmas. This is terrible to drop on Christmas Day or like the day before. I don't think that's right. It's not okay. At any rate, hey, how about our Christmas sweaters though? And Trenton's. It's very good. I like it. Very stylish. Can you get up close? I want them to see if they can see. It's like it's rifles and hand grenades and what did we decide this was? RPGs, like that's what's on this Christmas sweater. I love it.
Oh yeah.
Minus snowflakes. At any rate, Christmas traditions the night before we go out. And I do remember Christmas caroling. That was fun. When I was a youth pastor, I made the kids go Christmas caroling. They hated it. I loved it. I do remember that though. That was fun. Christmas caroling we tried to do consistently. Christmas lights the night before. And then, what would you say are some traditions? Did you guys do Luke chapter 2 as well? And did you? I feel like you told me.
I don't remember what it was. I remember trying to
it's Luke
ignore
2.
it. And
it's the story of Jesus, right? Like
yeah.
Jesus being born.
Well, didn't all of them have a story of Jesus?
All the Gospels, yeah, because you got 4 different guys telling the same story, so it comes out different. I don't know. Why wouldn't they just pick one of them, though? Yeah, let's condense that shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question for me. I'm very proud of my question.
It's just like, meanwhile, Luke.
Yeah, exactly.
From Matthew's perspective.
Luke has
meanwhile, Luke.
It's true. That's exactly what's going on in the Gospel.
Yeah. So when did you open? I always had this thing where we would open the presents from Santa Christmas morning, but we would open the presents from each other Christmas Eve.
So I think all of our presents were from Santa. I don't think we had different presents.
Really?
Yeah, I'll have to remember. I'll have to.
That way they could like blame it on Santa if you
totally
didn't like
if
it.
you fucked it up. Yeah, they're like, oh, we shouldn't have gotten that. Like, fucking Santa.
Damn.
Yeah. No, I feel like they were all from Santa, but we did. I don't think it was right away, but I do remember one year we started doing a present the night before. And there was a family, not in our church, but in our community, that would, because we were poverty level. Like I love my parents, and I never felt poor, but we were always poverty. Like I'm probably poverty level right now, like as far as it goes. But we were always poverty level, and so they would bring gifts to every family that was in need, and technically we were one of them, even though we had gifts. So they would bring us gifts. So those became the ones we would open, because those were the ones where it was like, you know, we know this is going to be something different. Not necessarily better, but just different. So these are the ones we opened the night before. I remember Legos and like a coat one time. But no, we would do one the night before, but it wasn't like there was differentiation with them. It was just like, these are all of your presents from Santa kind of thing. And I don't remember at what point I would have been aware of his not being exactly real.
Wait, what?
I mean... oh shit! Something I need to tell you. Let's get your mother on the phone. So I don't remember not coming to that realization, but I also remember my dad doing some like, you know, ho ho ho, like down the hallway or whatever, like definitely trying to mislead us into believing in the man in the red suit. But I don't remember that being traditional. I just remember it happened. But yeah, we didn't do that with the gifts from Santa and then different.
Yeah, I mean,
that's cool.
I feel like with family traditions, family events like that, it's not like you really go to other people's Christmas on Christmas morning, so you never really know. You kind of just assume when you're a kid that everybody does Christmas all the same.
Like Mac, go in and steal people's presents every Christmas.
Yeah, that's just what you do, man.
Just go in their house and and then they come to yours and they take yours. We all take each other's presents. This is how it works. I do remember there was one, when we lived in Missouri, there was a family, the pastor's family, and we would go. I do have good memories of that. I don't remember if it was Christmas Day. I feel like it was. Yeah, it was. We would have Christmas at our place, and then we would go have Christmas with them. But again, it wasn't Christmas. Like, we weren't sharing our entire.
It's a Christmas brunch or like a get together.
It was, yeah, exactly. Like, and we would have presents, and they would always watch It's a Wonderful Life, which that was a fun. It's a Wonderful Wife. So it was a good time though. I enjoy Christmas music and Christmas movies, and I guess I feel for me that Christmas was the one thing that kind of made me really feel like a normal person in relation to friends and family that were far more normal than the sheltered person.
Yeah, well, because I feel like everybody kind of just assumes that
It's all the same.
Until you know that it's not the same.
Yeah,
you probably just assume that it's...
Yep.
This guy does the same thing, so you feel connected with the people around you, even though in all other respects you feel entirely different.
Yes, the only caveat to that was my best friend growing up, Josh. They did not celebrate Christmas. Their family did not, and I always thought that was
like, what were they, Jehovah's Witnesses or something?
No, which you would think. No, they were Baptists, but the tree was green, so it represented worldliness. Like it was a reach. Like the whole family.
What?
Now, for the record, the whole family celebrates Christmas now. Like that's not a. Like,
they got over it. That was like a fad.
Yes, yeah. Well,
it was
for
a
the
phase.
entire childhood, I'm pretty sure it was. Like it wasn't like. It's only more recently that
that sounds like something that the parents came up with because they didn't want to buy their kids gifts for like a long time, and then they were out of No, I'm definitely
storing that shit away.
And then as soon as they're like out of the house, they're like, oh yeah, we give gifts now. Yeah, now that you can afford to give us some shit back.
Yeah, exactly. No, we don't gotta buy you a fucking PlayStation. So anyways, I really do love Christmas for all the shit I'm talking on. I do love Christmas. Definitely my favorite. For me, though, now that I live on the West Coast, it's been different because there's always, there's snow is synonymous with Christmas.
Yeah, does it feel like Christmas for you?
It does now that I'm here for a little bit, but in the beginning I was like, it's 70 degrees, there's no snow, it's not even fucking overcast. Can I get a little overcast?
Yeah, it's like
some
it's
rain?
Beginning to feel a lot like summer. I think it was like 82 degrees today.
It's
the 9th of December.
Dude,
and it was 82 degrees.
So I fly home every year for Christmas to Missouri, and I remember, I think 2 years ago, like, it was like 2 days before Christmas, I was, 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, 2 days before Christmas, me and Chrissy were on our way to the gym, and it was hot as fuck. It was like 95 at the end of December. What is that?
Yeah, it's not okay.
It was. I'm glad you concur.
It's not okay.
But even at home on Christmas, like we didn't always have snow. And actually, every time I've been home, we have not had snow on Christmas Day. Last year we had snow a couple days after, and I think the year before we had like a little bit of some flurries after Christmas. But the irony was, the first year I went home for Christmas, I will never forget, was the year it snowed here in Southern California, like in this specific area.
Yeah.
I went home, no snow in Missouri, and you get dumped on in Southern California. I was like,
you missed it.
Okay, so you are real. I get it, man. Like, why did you do that to me, though? Not
you
cool.
Are real, you and you have a sense of humor, and it didn't work out for me this time.
At any rate, that was awkward. But yeah, it's to me, it still is Christmas because I do the ambiance in my home, and I'm always we have a real tree up every year, and like I said,
it's Christmas as fucking here.
It's very Christmas. And of course my Christmas music is playing anyways. The problem for me with my Christmas music, because I started too early, is that it does wear off. So like, people at my work know that I've already listened to it way too much.
What do you talk? Oh my god. Okay, so the day after Thanksgiving, they start playing Christmas music. Some places earlier than Thanksgiving.
103.5, yeah.
And I'm like 3 days in, like, what?
What? How? Why?
It's not like they really come out with new Christmas music.
They do, though. Okay, so this is something I have to tell you. Good Charlotte, by the way. Yeah, good. It's an EP, and it's good. I like it. I need to work on my playlist, actually. I need to work on it and then link it up, actually. So, I have a playlist called, because I have like 10 Christmas playlists on Spotify. One is all Christmas, and that's like 1,500 tracks or something like that.
What?
It's ridiculous. But I have one called the Christmas songs you should be listening to this year, because I had a friend give me a complaint just like you are, like, there's no new Christmas music. So, which is partially true. The same songs get repeated on every record. I agree with that 100%. However, there are some people that mix up their version, right? So, here's something you should know. Do you like Sia at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sia just dropped a Christmas record. There is nothing on it that is traditional at all. There are no traditional songs. Not even a reworking of it, because it's Sia.
I'm still not gonna listen to Christmas music.
Okay, but you need to listen to what is it called? Santa's Coming for Us is a terrific one, It's catchy, man. You'll tap your foot. I swear to God. And then the other one is, I think it's called Puppies Are Forever, Not Just at Christmas. You need to listen to both of those. Anyways, here's my answer, and you make a valid point, but here's my answer to that. You got to listen to people that either have incredible ranges, like Josh Groban, that put out really, like, while it's traditional and it's the same as every other song, it's Josh Groban. It's very, very well done. So that's my first one. Second, there is new Christmas. People do put out new songs about Christmas, and then old songs that they fixed, like Last Christmas I gave you my heart. Whatever.
Yeah,
So Taylor Swift did that a while ago, but Good Charlotte did it, and it is the best version ever to exist of that song.
Really?
I
Good Charlotte?
promise you, dude. Good Charlotte dropped it this past weekend. So good. Another kid by the name of Cody Fry. Dude, that kid has amazing pipes, and he dropped the same thing, just an EP. It's 3 songs, but it's got a brand new one. It's called "Coming from the Cold." It's a Christmas song, and then the other 2 are traditional, but again, just completely different rendering of them. So,
all right,
you bring up Christmas music and you say that about it.
Okay,
I have an argument for it.
There's only one Christmas album that I've ever listened to every year, and
wait,
it's Christian.
Can I? Oh man. Okay, I have to guess it though.
You're never ever.
Well, I mean,
go for it.
I wanted to say the Carpenters until you said Christian, because I think that everyone, if they haven't, should listen to the Carpenters some portion of their Christmas.
Oh, the Carpenters. Is that a Jesus
No,
reference?
it's fucking not. You don't know the Carpenters' Christmas?
No.
You've heard it. I swear to you, I'm going to play it after we're done with this. You've heard it somewhere. It's just everyone plays the Carpenters.
I know John Carpenter, and I know Carpenteria. And I know Carpet.
No, none of the above.
None of that. Yeah.
Karen Carpenter, and I can't remember her brother's name. They're amazing artists from like late 60s, early 70s, and their Christmas music is like legendary. Everyone hears it. So so I have to, like, it's in qualifying questions here. So it's a it's a Christian Christmas album. Yes?
Yes.
Well,
it's not. I don't know how to say that it's Christian, because it's from a Christian band.
Yeah. That's fine.
But there's no
Christian
real vocals on it. It's instrumental. So
okay, the Trans-Siberian Orchestra is not a Christian band.
Yeah. Well,
I don't think.
No, it's
okay. So it's not them.
Nope.
I just wanted to like rule that out because that's what I was sounding. It was sounding. So there's no vocals. It's all instrumental, and
it's also a metal album.
Fuck! Is it Lamb of God? They don't have a Christian.
And they're also not Christian.
Oh, who am I thinking of? I feel like there's something similar.
War of Ages.
No, I feel like there's a Christian metal band that I thought Lamb of God was Christian. No.
No, you.
Well, I mean, I would.
Yeah, you're like, it said
asshole.
God.
It said God.
Lamb of God checks out.
I know that from the scriptures. So it's a Christian metal band. Fuck, man.
Yeah. August Burns Red.
Okay. Yeah,
I already told you. I already told. We'll listen to it.
There's no way.
We'll listen to it after this.
Okay.
But it's sick. It's like the Little Drummer Boy, but just like
heavy
metal.
All right, I'm down. I want to check
cool.
it out.
It's cool. It's fun.
It will go on my Christmas playlist.
Yeah, just drop it right at the bottom of the 1500 and we'll get to it.
No, it shuffles, man. It shuffles. There's actually a really fun one from, I found it from Klaus Baudelt, who did the Pirates of the Caribbean soundtrack. And it's like creepy Christmas music. It's Christmas and it's orchestral, but it has that like, almost starts off with a lullaby kind of dingle dingle kind of thing, and then it like goes full orchestra and it's like super heavy.
Okay.
You would like it. That you need to check out. I have piqued your interest. I can see it. Anyways, I love Christmas music.
It's unhealthy. It's unhealthy.
That there is an article about that.
That
I
it's
saw
unhealthy?
it circulating. Yeah, no, there's an article. I don't know if
it's like, oh my god, it's like some kind of fucked up weird mind control or something where they like have you heard of the torture where they're like, oh well, waterboarding is not nice enough, it's not humane enough, so let's just put them in a isolation chamber and they just have to listen to, I think it's fucking Christmas music.
It's not Christmas music, bro.
I think it is, but
we need to do research.
I don't know if I'm right.
That's what I love about this podcast. I'm not at the level where I can be like, hey, look that up for us. And I don't want to have like a big computer in front of me. So it's like, I think this is true, but whatever. And since very few people watch it, it's like no one's jumping in to say, that's totally not true. Like, no one cares.
Yeah, I mean, well, when your references here says people, underline.
People, speech, and food.
Yeah, talk about food.
Let's talk about food. Anyways. Okay, that's actually a good point. What's traditional? What is a traditional Christmas food for you? I would say ham.
Okay, yeah. I mean, we went all out for food. My family's like all about just as much different. We'd have like, we'd even have like turkey and ham and like a roast. My dad always had a prime rib.
Hell yeah!
Like a giant, fucking just.
That's awesome, dude.
With like that much,
that thick,
like seasoned crust that's like dark
God.
on the outside with it like
so
juicy in the
now.
middle. I know. Let's get some food after this.
Yeah, let's do it, dude.
And then so there was a little holiday tradition that I always thought was really cool. I'll probably do it whenever I have a family.
Fuck yeah.
And it was we would cook rice. It was like rice pudding. And
That
so everybody would have a bowl, but it was always my grandma would make the rice, and then my grandpa would it was an almond, and he'd put an almond into one of them, and then he'd mix them all up and go sit down,
pass it out,
and then my grandma would pass them out, and whoever got the almond was supposed to kind of like play it off like, oh, who has the almond?
Yeah.
Like, who
totally wasn't
got
me.
it? And whoever did get it after everybody finishes is like, I got the almond, and they get like just kind of a little tiny gift or whatever.
That's cool.
It's like popcorn or like something simple.
Yeah, but I love like traditions like that. Like, I think that's so fucking awesome. I love that.
And I thought I had full faith and confidence that it wasn't rigged for a very long time. And then the one year, so my friend Corey went with me to all the way to Nebraska to go to Christmas with my family. And so he won it.
What the
fuck? I'm like, and the gift was something that was very much like it was not like a general gift that anybody could be
specific.
like, oh, the popcorn where there's like cheddar, regular, and caramel, where it's like everybody loves that. You know, it was like specific almost to him, and I'm like,
hang on,
wait a second.
Something's fishy around here.
Yeah, Grandma's been lying to us. She's been picking the winners. This is bullshit.
That's awesome. We did. I mean, the more I think about it, there's not as much as the more I think about it, the more I remember it. But we would always do stockings, and it wasn't like amazing stuff, but we would always have. I know we would always have uncracked walnuts. I remember that. I don't know why that was a thing. And then like oranges and
apples. Would you all like sit around and just?
Yeah, we would crack them. That, oranges, apples, and then there'd be like a little, stocking stuffers, like toys, Pez dispenser, or something like that. But I do remember, and that is that's a lasting tradition to this day. Like when I go home, like I'm actually thinking about looking forward to seeing what's in my stocking this year at Christmas when I go home, because my parents still have my stocking from when I was 10 years old or something.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a picture on it. It's a fucking, it's a beaver or something. No jokes. I see it already. I see it. No, it really was. It was a beaver. And I remember that.
What am I going to find in the beaver this year?
But I do remember always having stockings. That was a fun tradition. And always, I don't think they do it anymore, but it's why I still do it, is always a real tree. Always. What about you guys? Real tree or fake?
My dad always had a real tree, and my stepmom is like, she has a very specific way that things should look, that things should be.
That's tough with a real tree.
Very, very specific aesthetic, and she would like sit there like cutting the extra
fucking tree.
Yeah, she would like trim it and make it like perfect, and she would like spend time, and she always had the most amazing looking trees, but. Took so long to do. And then my mom was like, yeah, we've got like a 12-foot artificial
every year.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Like, just pull it out of storage. We got
there
this.
You go. It is way easier.
Well, I think one year we had. So I had 2 cats growing up. One was Mittens.
Oh yeah, dude.
One was Mittens because all of its paws.
Yeah.
White. The other one was Mischief because it was her brother. We had to get them in twos. Yeah. And that cat was like. What's going on? Why am I? And like it hid for like the first week that we had it. We were like
really
maybe Mischief was out.
Yeah.
Like maybe it just left.
It just bounced.
I don't know. It's just gone.
Not here.
And so it would, for the longest time, we'd find him like halfway up the tree. Like
we definitely had cats that destroyed our trees.
So we were like, let's just get an artificial one that's like.
Yeah, exactly.
Glued together or something.
It's not gonna knock. We would have cats. I remember growing up, we would have strings tied like from the tree to other things in the living room so that the tree would stay up because the fucking cats. They wouldn't like climbing up, it's one thing, but we would have cats that would fly at it. Like
They'd
they'd run up on the couch, whoop, bam, and then just like Spider-Man.
Christmas for cats.
Like,
if there was a cat hosting a podcast right now, they're like, "What's your Christmas tradition?" Like, oh, I just hop headlong into that fucker right there. Every year they come out with this giant toy for us to play with. It was the best.
Bet the shit out of it. They even put shiny shit on it.
Yeah,
for us to
shiny
knock
shit
down.
all over it.
It's the best, and it fucking lights up.
Yeah. Never lose it.
We love it. It is though. I think there's a good routine from Jim Gaffigan about like Christmas is like a drunk person thought that shit up. Like, what do you?
Oh, yeah.
Why are you putting our socks on the mat? Let's throw some like candy on
some
tomorrow. Like, why do you have
yogurt tomorrow?
Why'd you bring the tree inside? I don't know. Throw some lights on it.
leave me out some cookies and milk. You mean Santa? No, yeah, Santa.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Santa. Sorry.
Dude, there's a hilarious video. You had to have seen it. If you haven't, we'll watch it after. Of Jesus giving Santa his job. It's the Australian guy that has the table. Remember? It's a magic table. I can't even do an Australian accent. But you haven't, like, where he every time he puts dirty dishes or laundry, and the guys are like,
every time,
where did
it's gone.
Where did she go? I think she fell into the table, guys. So, like,
okay.
It's the same guy. That guy decides, or Jesus calls him in and is like, you know, and they're all Australian. And Jesus calls him in. I'm done trying to do Australian accent. I'm not going to do it anymore. Jesus calls him in and he's like, hey, do you want, you know, I got a job for you. He's like, okay, cool. Like, what is it? Well, you only have to work 1 day a year. All right, sign me up. He's like, you live in a dope house. You know, you got a wife and everything. Like, okay, like, where do I sign? He's like, you know, there's a couple things. He's like, okay, what? And then, like, he tries to tell him about the elves. He's like, yeah, I saw some little fuckers in the hallway earlier. Like, I don't want those guys. Yeah, those are your guys.
It comes with the...
I guess. So he gives him the suit. He's like, you got to wear this. He's like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, you're going to have to put on a few pounds because kids find you threatening unless you're really fat. So you got to put on some pounds. Like, okay, so what do I do when I work? Oh, you just deliver presents to the children. All right, like the what children? Like the one here in this town? No, the whole fucking world.
The children.
All of the children. Like, that's impossible. I can't do that at one night. Anyways, it's really funny. You gotta see it. I don't know how we got off on that, but always had a real tree. So you had real and fake.
Yeah.
You had best of both worlds.
Yeah.
I did help a friend of mine, Todd, put up the fake tree one year, and I was like, for his family, and I was like, you know what, this is.
You were judging him so hard.
I
You were
was.
like side eyeing that tree, like
100% until I started putting it up. I'm like, oh fuck, this is super easy.
yeah.
This is way easier than
Like, I don't even have to water it.
No, the one thing I do miss, and I think it's expensive everywhere now to go to a tree farm, but like I got my tree from Lowe's, which is fine, and it's close, and it was like $29, not bad.
Really?
Yeah, Lowe's was cheap.
Yeah, I've literally never bought a tree or even really looked at it.
Yeah, you're between $20 and $30 is what you'll spend for that size tree. We keep motioning to it. I'm gonna have to like put a picture of it up so people are like, does he really have it? Because I think it's bullshit.
He definitely has a tree. I can see it, but you don't believe me.
Trenton will attest. So I do miss very much going and like growing up, we would go cut it down. Like we wouldn't like do a forest and steal it, but like we would go to like a tree farm and then we would pick it out, and my dad would bring a hacksaw and we'd cut it down.
Wait, what? It wasn't even. They didn't even cut it for you.
Well, you could.
They're like, you can buy it, but if you don't have a chainsaw, you're leaving it here.
Well, no, we would. I think that was part of like it's cheaper. I think it's cheaper too if you cut it down.
Oh, it's like an add-on service.
Yeah, it's cheaper if you cut it down. It was kind of a tradition for us, so I really do miss that. Like I would give anything. Well, I wouldn't give anything because I did go to a tree farm and I could have bought one for like $70. I was just like, I can't do that. Like when I'm balling, I have a client that told me a couple years ago, me and a coworker were talking about, you know, how much we paid for our tree. And I was like, man, mine was like $30. She's like, shit, I got mine frocked or whatever. It's like $100. And then our client was like, yeah, you guys don't want to know how much I paid for mine. He's very well off. And we were like, no, we do. And it was like $500. Like, what the fuck for a Christmas tree that you're gonna throw out? Are you kidding me?
What was the? Was it like
it was
giant?
Enormous.
Okay.
It was enormous. He has a big house, and it was frocked or whatever with the white shit.
Is that
all over
right?
It looks
that seems.
Doesn't seem like the right.
That
term.
seems like lying.
Yeah,
it's
like a truism to you.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, we got some fake snow on this. It just seems like bullshit.
It is bullshit. I agree.
Just chop the nature, bring it inside your house.
Why did you bring the tree inside? I don't know. Just put some lights on it. It'll be
Better
fine.
than a shopping cart.
Exactly. So, speaking of that, what I did want to get into with this podcast was talking about. I'm a transplant. I'm not from California. I'm from the Midwest, originally from Indiana. Trenton is born and raised Okay,
Yeah.
West Coast.
Yep.
You
mean the best coast?
Yeah, sure. Fuck it.
You're like, I'm not from a coast.
I'm not from
so,
a coast.
right,
I'm
yeah.
from where there's no water, except raining from the sky all the time. But to speak to that, I've had very little East Coast experience, and if the episode from Always Sunny about the Jersey Shore is accurate at all, West Coast is absolutely the best.
Dude,
coast.
if Jersey Shore
If
is
the
accurate
show-
at all.
This is definitely much better. Much better.
Yeah.
No snookies out here. So, but there are definitely plenty of meatheads and jabronis. So, you keep using that word.
Jabroni.
Like it's awesome. But the cultural differences, I want to talk about just a few different things that are different between the West Coast and the Midwest, where, you know, just generally speaking, we don't have the ocean. We do have a lot more weather issues, so to speak, as far as like rain and snow and sleet and slush and that sort of thing. It tears up your car, dude.
Yeah,
Like cars.
well, they ice the roads. And
Yeah, they
shit
ice
like
the
that,
roads,
yeah.
and then that
Or salt the roads, I mean. Ice the roads. No,
I've
nature
said that before.
ices the roads.
Nature ices, we
and
salt.
then we
salt
salt the
that
roads,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah, no, the salt really does tear up your car, and which is what I attest to why my car is still running, because it's out here now. If it was back there, I would definitely have to have a new car by now. There's plenty of rust on it, mind you, but somehow it's pulling through.
Dude, sell it as a California always owned vehicle.
There you go.
know,
Oh,
just
totally, yeah.
spray
No
paint
salt.
over the roads.
It's totally fine. What's that there? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But I think one of the big things, I think for any just inside the U.S., like food is a big differentiator. Like every place has their like staple, or whether it's a restaurant or a certain type of food. I have to be honest and say, while I love the Midwest and I love the food back there, so much of it is fucking casserole. And I know I talked about that on another podcast, but it is like, get some beans.
Your mom's
and
just watching
it's
this,
like,
like
this
planning out all of the casseroles for Christmas, and she's like,
fuck. This asshole ruined Christmas. He did a podcast about how much he loved Christmas, and then
Christmas
he ruined
casserole.
it. No Jesus casserole for you. So, but it is, dude. It's cream and mushroom soup goes in every single one of them, and then some kind of like bean or something, and then potatoes. It's not good. Like, there are good casseroles, to be fair, but when that's what you eat all the time, especially when you go to church a lot, and that's what every potluck is, it's so bad because, like, everyone brings the same thing to a potluck. Like, I can just dump some canned shit in and put it in the oven and we're good. Oh, fuck yeah. I'm only spending $4 on this. Like, it's fine. So, yeah, that I love the Midwest. Like, and we'll get into that. And I'm overboard with my love for the Midwest. And I think it's more, I think when it comes to that kind of shit, it's more where you're from, as opposed to, is it really better? It's where I'm from. So therefore, it's like the team mentality, which I hate, to be fair, for a lot of things. But with that, like, it's just like, I love it because it's where I'm from. It's familiar, and I have reasons why I think the Midwest is better. But to say like,
Yeah, let me hear them.
oh, you
have reasons why?
You're gonna fucking hear them, dude.
Okay.
But anyways, let's start with food. Okay, so the thing that happened to me when I was in fake Jesus college for the Lord, I met people from this exact region, Southern California, Wildomar, Murrieta, Temecula area. Probably Hemet and Nelson Orms, more like it. But I met people that were just, they would go on and on about In-N-Out. Like, I heard that literally I heard it to the point that I actually, if you look at my car, I'll show you in my middle console, I bought an In-N-Out sticker and before I even ate In-N-Out, I bought an In-N-Out sticker and put it on my car just because I thought, this must be the coolest thing ever.
No, that's like
Tell me how bad it is.
That's like the conversion. That's like
we won. We got another one.
I'm one of you guys now.
I'm totally cool.
That's like that's like your California camouflage is like In-N-Out sticker.
That and if you want to be a Florida person, the Ron John surf shop sticker. Like, everyone had one of those. Like, do you surf? No. Have you ever been to any coast? No. Why is there a fucking Ron John sticker?
I've been to a lake.
I surfed the lake. There's no waves. We made waves. We used sea-doos.
Made waves, bro.
Anyways, food. So, I will be the first person to say that In-N-Out is a delicious hamburger, and the fries are delicious, and the shakes are subpar, but they're shakes. It's whatever. Really? Dude, Dude, I would rather have a
What, because they're thick?
Hardee's. I like thickness. I would rather have a Hardee's / Carl's Jr. malt shake than an In-N-Out. Or, no, okay.
You just like it because it's called Hardee's, you dick.
They spelled it wrong, so fuck that. No, that's not true. I take that back. One of the best shakes, and like there's shake places where shakes are better. The best, to my knowledge, the best fast food shake I've ever had, aside from McDonald's, is eggnog, because that's eggnog, and
You're
love
just crazy
eggnog.
about eggnog.
I love, hence the eggnog. Is Del Taco's strawberry shake. That is, have you not had that?
No.
What? You live here.
I don't know what.
Dude.
What?
Oh, what? Yay! Do you really have it? It's really
No,
good,
I haven't.
dude. So
I have not.
you rage about In-N-Out shakes. They're really good.
I think they're good, but it's also, it's like what I get whenever everybody, because there's been a lot of situations where, like, I feel you with the whole In-N-Out, like, everybody's absolutely crazy about it.
Okay,
to the point where, like, I love In-N-Out,
Yeah.
and I've had friends where, like, dude, let's go to In-N-Out. Dude, I had In-N-Out yesterday.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
fuck it, let's go. Well, what if we get In-N-Out later? Like, how many times do I have to eat goddamn In-N-Out? And their menu is like 4 things, so it's like it's always the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm like looking for secret menus. Like, is there just a menu that's a little different, like that I can just have?
Let me try animal style.
Oh, I've got so. I usually get I get a 2x2 with chilies, or like 3x3.
Yeah.
4,
6x6.
with chopped chilies, whole grilled onions.
Wow.
And
You really mix it up.
and mustard grilled.
So you taught me mustard, fried, grilled, whatever, and I always get that now because I do like that. I tried it at home, didn't go well. I tried
Just
it on
a lot of burnt mustard.
This place smelled
You
terrible.
use a non-stick pan, right?
100%.
Okay.
Still, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. At any rate, I have to say that In-N-Out, I have a defense for In-N-Out in that it is a very fresh dining experience for being fast food. It tastes very fresh, much fresher than Wendy's. I have a story. I hate Wendy's. And then
Those squares.
Really, is that a thing?
They have square patties.
Oh, I thought you said queers. And
No,
was like,
I
wait,
said
what?
those squares.
Squares, yes.
No.
I hate the square patties. I was like, wait, queers? I'm so confused. Why do we have a problem with that? That's always been fine.
Damn it, Wendy's.
Damn it. But it's very fresh and it's a very good burger. I just don't agree that it deserves all the accolades that it gets, and I feel like it's a cultural thing. Like we're from Nevada, we're from. It's coming to Colorado, I think. There's one other state they're expanding.
It's in Utah.
Utah, or we're from the West Coast.
Oh
Whatever.
my God. Okay, I drove with my uncle to
I'm gonna
Nebraska,
press
and on the way back, we stopped in St. George, Utah.
Okay.
And we're looking for a place to eat, and fuck me, man. I look to the left, and there's an In-N-Out. I felt so betrayed. I was like, this run-of-the-mill Utah people get to experience my California In-N-Out. Come on.
That's not fair.
It's not fair.
That is funny, dude. I'm pouring some more.
I felt like I was getting cheated on. Like, this is California only.
How dare
California.
you? For those of you that are only listening and not watching, I'm pouring some more eggnog and spiced rum.
Are we out of?
Trenton
Are you supposed to put nutmeg on the
Oh my God, am I supposed to be fancy? I'm not fancy, dude. This is SoCo eggnog and the cheapest spice rum I can find. I'm not a fancy guy, okay? So
Well,
get used to it.
You got a fancy sweater on.
I do have a fancy sweater, as do you. So In-N-Out, I think, is not 100%, but is highly overrated. While it is a delicious burger and a great experience, it is overrated.
It's like the Beatles, dude. It's good if you listen to it.
Okay.
But
where are you going with
this? Everybody being so fucking crazy about it kills it.
Yeah, that hurts
it's like
the experience.
They're a band, dude.
Yeah,
they're a good band.
They're still a band.
But they're not. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So my qualm about living out here is that again, the terrible artery clogging food that I grew up with, and I feel like this is not a knock on the Midwest, because trust me, I'm going to get to the place where you're going to be like, this guy needs to really chill with how much he loves the Midwest. We'll get there. I'm just trying to
love where you're from, man.
I do, but I'm trying to lead with hey, I'm trying to lead with some balance. But I feel like in the Midwest, we're far less health conscious, if I may. And so, like, a lot less of the dietary options, better dietary options at restaurants, things like that we have out here. But in the Midwest, it's like, can we put gravy on? Yeah, let's put gravy on it.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
fine.
Add some liquid flavor right
yeah,
there.
can we... Wait, we shouldn't deep fry this. It's fine. Let's just throw it in. One day, Bill decided to throw that in the deep fryer, and now it's a menu item. Like, that's how it works back there. Which is why I love Culver's. And Culver's has... To me, that butter burger is just it's delicious. Fried deep. Here's his deep fried deep fried cheese curds. Like that's just, to me, that is okay.
I like cheese curds.
Okay, so I feel like that is more soulful food, if I may, than In-N-Out is.
Since when did In-N-Out claim to be soul food? Huh?
It's true. Just trying to wax eloquent, and Trenton's like, it's not. We never fucking said it was soul
We never
food.
claimed that. We got two fucking. The logo is freaking palm trees.
You know what that's from though?
No.
It's a mad world. I think I got enough mads in there. That's an old film with like everyone in comedy at the time. The Three Stooges are in it. Don Knotts is in it. A bunch of big comedy people, and it's Rat Race. I have never seen Rat Race, but it's an older version of that.
Okay.
With everyone in it as a cameo. Carl Weathers. Anyways, a bunch of them. And they're... Jimmy Durante, do you know Jimmy Durante?
Yeah.
So he's one of the bigger roles in the film. And the whole premise of the film is they're looking for buried treasure. And it was... he dies telling them, like, it was beneath the big W. And that's what they form. Those palm trees form a W. And the founder or whoever that started the whole In-N-Out thing, the restaurant, he was a big fan.
A W?
Yeah. I don't know. Like,
or an X?
An X. I don't know. Maybe it's an X. Yeah, that would be an X. I don't know.
Is this how they make W's in the Midwest?
In the Midwest, yeah, we make them like, fuck you, man. Maybe it is a big X. I don't know. Anyways.
X marks the spot? I don't know.
That makes more sense than the W. I don't know, but that's supposedly
I haven't seen it, but I assume neither of you
gets it.
So.
Yeah, we can't spell in the Midwest either, apparently. Anyways, I love Culver's. I hate that we don't have it here. Just like if someone from California went to the Midwest and be like, oh, we don't have In-N-Out here. That's so sad. And then, even more so, Cracker Barrel.
I can't even go to a Carl's Jr. in the Midwest.
Fuck you. It's Hardee's. What is it? Hardee's, and then what's the other one? Checkers and Rallies. It's Checkers.
I haven't had Checkers. I have had Culver's.
What is it? Do we have them out here, Checkers and or Rallies? I don't think so. I think that's a Southern Midwest thing.
Rallies.
Maybe Rallies?
Somewhere.
It's LA. They gotta have it in LA.
Yeah, maybe.
But Rallies is the Midwest thing, and then Checkers is a Southern thing. So I don't know. I'm off on that. But those are similarly though. Those are So the podcast is coming to an end because Trenton's fucking phone is ringing.
It's not my phone. It's my insulin.
Oh. Well, I'm an asshole. This guy needs to take his insulin, and I'm being an asshole about it. Anyways, well, now that I have the floor, I'm going to say all kinds of stuff. In-N-Out's the worst. I hate In-N-Out. It's the worst burger you could ever eat in your entire life.
Facts only.
All right, it's not. The one thing I have to say about food in the Midwest that's been interesting, so when you're in a bigger city, like let's say, probably Milwaukee, which I've never been to, or let's say Detroit, for sure Detroit, and definitely Chicago, you're going to get good cultural foods, whether that's Indian food, Korean food, Mexican food, what have you. But when you're in the Midwest, when you're in the rural Midwest, which is the majority of the Midwest, you are not going to enjoy a lot of cultural fare that's cultural. It's mostly white trash trying to make it good. For instance, I was home in June for a wedding, and I was actually very near to where I grew up. I was in Plymouth, Indiana. I went to junior high. Just crack it. We did this last time.
I hate to do it.
I was in Plymouth, Indiana, I went to junior high there, and I grew up in Knox, Indiana, which is 15-minute drive. And a friend of mine was like, hey, let's go to this delicious Mexican joint. And I was like, well, I like Mexican food, and I was very close to one for a time. And I also, I live in California, so there's a lot of good Mexican joints here, and in Chicago there was a lot. But we're in rural Midwest, and they said, yeah, you gotta try this. It's my favorite Mexican restaurant. It's the best one in town. I was like, well, yeah, you're raving about it. It must be good.
I mean, if it's the best.
If it's the best, we must have it. Literally, the salsa was pace. Like, it's the exact, I told her, I didn't say pace, I said, this is V8 that someone put peppers in. This isn't salsa. And she's like, no, it's like the best Mexican restaurant in town. Like, well, y'all need more Mexican restaurants.
You're like, I'm not disagreeing with you that it's the best.
I'm not saying it's not the best for you, but it is the worst. It was bad. It wasn't bad. It was just super bland. And I think that's what happens in rural areas where you don't have a person that knows that food or is from that actual culture that can make it for you. You're like, well, I saw this on Top Chef, so it should probably be good. And you don't know what it's supposed to taste like. It's bad. It was the taco, and again, I shouldn't say bad. Super bland. It was just very bland. It was like, all I've eaten my whole life is casserole. This is amazing. Like, no, it's not. You're used to casserole.
Yeah.
Like, it's bad. It was bad. So that's one thing I'll say. Like, I love my staples back there. My Culvers, my Cracker Barrel, and there's more. There's actually one, dude, super fun restaurant called Lambert's, no N in there. And there's only like 2 or 3 of them. One of them is in Sikeston, Missouri, and it's like one of those rude restaurants.
Oh, okay.
So not so much rude as very casual. And when they come out with rolls, they don't bring you a thing to your table. The guy comes out and he's buttering the rolls, and you just raise your hand and say roll, and he'll throw it literally across the room. People have gotten pegged in the face with rolls before. They will throw it.
Cool.
It is. You'd like it. They throw them across, and he butters it, and then he throws it to you. That's how you get your roll.
He's just
like
go.
It's delicious. It's really good food, and the portions are all enormous. And what's fun is you don't order an appetizer. You order your cheeseburger, which is ridiculously huge, or steak, or whatever. And the portions, they come around with a deep pot, and they're just like, "What do you want?" And you're like, "Let me get some of that okra." That's how you get your appetizers. Okay. They're just walking around with kettles full of appetizers, and you just plop it on your plate. It's a fun experience. I have yet to be hit with a roll, but it does happen. So there are my staples that I miss in the Midwest, but then when I go back and I'm in a rural area and I try to have like some kind of, Italian fare or something, I'm just like, no, like let me have.
Wait, even Italian is like not.
No, it's super bland. Pasta House I think is the big one, and that's like a chain, but it's just like. It's spaghetti. It's Boyardee out of a can. Like that's what you're like. Oh, I could have had this at home for like $10 less a plate. Yeah, it's rough. And they try to branch out with that. I think another thing too about the Midwest and for me the difference, and I wouldn't say the Midwest versus anywhere else, but just like the difference in population is really mind blowing.
There's like how many?
There's too many people.
Wait, where are you from?
I'm from Indiana. My family lives in Missouri, but like I'm.
Okay, Indiana. So the biggest city, Indianapolis.
I don't know if that's the biggest. That's our capital. I don't know if it's the biggest city, but it's
what's the most
top
populated?
5. Yeah, it's Indianapolis. Yeah.
Okay. So how many people do you think are in?
Dude,
Indiana?
shit, I don't know. Indiana total?
Yeah.
I have no idea, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's 34 million.
Oh wow.
32 to 34 million people in California. And I feel like they're all in Southern California. Well,
they're all
okay,
here.
so here's the crazy thing.
North, there's not as many people.
Well, so here's the crazy thing: is if you were to say where the midway point in California is based on location distance, it would be like maybe Monterey or something. But if you were to do it based on population, it's right above Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
Which is right above LA. So it's like, and that's just the tiny little bottom of the state.
That's where everyone is.
And so they're so half of the whole state lives in right there, and then the other half of all the people live in
way more.
It's crazy. It's
Southern
very,
California
very dense.
is overpopulated.
You could drive for. Excuse me. Okay, you start at the border and you start driving.
The border being Mexico.
Yeah, the border with Mexico up north, and you don't get to a place that's not a big city for like hours.
No.
Hours. No. You don't find something rural for like 2, 3, 4 hours, especially if there's traffic. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It is nuts. There's just too many people here, and I think for me that's just. I mean, there's a lot of things that are culture shock, but for me that's a big culture shock, dude. When I go home, it's so funny. I went home, same situation. I went home for a wedding in June, and my buddy picked me up in Cicero, Illinois, which is a suburb of Chicago, and he was taking me to Hammond, Indiana, which is just across the line, the Illinois-Indiana border, and he goes, we get on the Dan Ryan. I think it was Dan Ryan, and he goes, "Oh shit!"
You get on the Dan Ryan?
Yeah.
Is that your?
Yeah.
So you're...
No, the Dan
Have I
Ryan
met him?
is an expressway. You've
Oh,
never
okay.
met Dan
Okay.
Ryan. So we get on the... That's a fun bit. We should definitely make that something. But we get on the Dan Ryan Expressway, and and he's like, oh, fuck, we're going to hit traffic. And he's very upset that we're going to hit all this traffic. Ben's really mad, and I'm like, oh, man, yeah, that sucks. I hate traffic. And I'm used to SoCal traffic now where it's like stop and go for like 5 miles, and it takes you an hour. Like, that's literally how it goes. And we hit traffic for 15 minutes, and it's because we had to slow down to 45 miles an hour on the highway. And I was like, bro.
Rough. Rough. Wow.
This is not traffic. Like, this isn't even close to traffic, dude. Like, nowhere near it. So that's just a microcosm of, you know, like, there's just so many people here. And when I go home, like, it's so... I hate driving anywhere, ever out here. It gives me, my blood pressure goes through the roof, I have no doubt. Like, I'll get to the doctor and, oh, your blood pressure's high. Yeah, I just drove here. It was only a mile. I know! But
it took me 2 hours!
God damn it! So, but when I go home, like, I went home for Christmas last year, and I got in the car, and my mom and my brother picked me and Chloe up. And they're like, yeah, we'll drive home. I'm like, shit, let me drive. And they're like, you just got off a plane. I know, I can't wait to drive. It's so amazing driving out here. Yes, there's sleet and snow and rain and traffic, but oh my God, it's so much
fun. Like, I haven't had to touch
my
brake pedal in 15 minutes.
When I went home, not home, I flew into Kansas City to see my best friend Josh, probably 2 years ago now. And I rented a car, got there, rented my car, jumped in the car, and dude, like, and it was late. I didn't get it till like midnight. But like, his place was like, should have been like 4 hours away. I made that in 3 hours. Just, there was no one on the road. Yeah. No cops, no people. I was just like, what's going on?
Don't you get like tired? I feel like if I didn't have to constantly deal with, like, is that person actually getting into my... That person's getting into my lane? Oh, no, they were just kind of drifting a little.
Listing lazily to the left.
Listing lazy. Like, oh, okay, they're not actually...
because then you can actually pay attention to what's going by you on the side of the road.
What do you mean?
Then you can... That's how I'm a terrible driver. Like, I'm the guy that's like, what's going... Oh, mountain.
Okay, so you're saying you're better at driving in the Midwest because there's no interesting scenery to distract you?
No, I'm saying I'm a better driver in the Midwest because there's not a fuck ton of people... Number one.
How does that make you a better?
Shut up. No, like, there's that. You can you can actually enjoy your music you're listening to. Like, you can talk on the phone and be distracted by it, and it's not going to cause an accident because there's no one else on the road. That's why it's amazing. Oh my God. But got way off topic a little bit. So people. Very broad topic, people. But I just feel like it's I don't feel like it is. It's overpopulated compared to the Midwest, 100%.
Well, yeah, we have this thing where we're like, we've got all this land. Like, if you drive from California to New York, like 95% of it is gonna be just like, is there gonna be a next gas station in 100 miles?
I remember driving like that. Yeah.
Or are we, like, when's the next? Yeah, I just want some like food or something. Yeah. I don't know where it is.
Nothing here.
But you leave Southern California, you leave Los Angeles, and there's like 16 million people in the area, and then you get to New York, and you get to your destination, and there's that much in the same
thing.
Like, what? We just gotta all like fucking spread it out, guys. Like, just
and that goes on almost a micro level as well. When you live here, like I get there's apartments back in the Midwest too, but like the houses here, dude, they're this far. I mean, $200,000 to $300,000 houses are feet from one another, and that, to me, that is mind blowing. Number one, to be that close, and number two, at home, like where I'm from, like. There's acres between people, or at least yards.
And it's a
houses.
lot cheaper too.
Way cheaper.
Yeah. So
way
out here
property.
we have like we have duplexes.
Yeah.
We have houses that's like a normal sized house that just has a big wall going down the middle of it, and
two
people own each half of the house.
Yeah.
And there's like you're sharing a wall.
Yeah.
Like, I understand you're doing that in an apartment, but it's like a house with.
And we have those back home, but not by and large like we do here. Here's one that just blew my mind. I was at work the other day, and my friend Vanessa, who's from the Bay Area. You know, I think, yeah, you know Vanessa. No, you don't know Vanessa? Yeah, you know. You would know if you saw her. So, she's from the Bay Area,
What does that
San
mean?
Francisco. You would know if you
What
saw
does
her
that mean?
because you worked with her before.
Oh, yeah, no, I
Jesus.
know. I was like, does she have like a huge...
No.
She got like a, I don't know, a horn or something? Like
not at all.
Like a second butt? Or,
Oh,
I
wow.
don't know.
You gotta stop. You gotta
An
stop
8
now.
foot?
You gotta stop now.
What?
So she showed me a trailer park, because that's what it was, in San Francisco. The lot fees are about $1,000, give or take, a month. So you're paying $1,000 a month just for this tiny ass lot to put your double wide on. A trailer, okay? And I'm not mad. I lived in a trailer. Like, I get it. I'm white trash. I'm fine with
I
trailers.
was raised in a trailer.
All right. Well,
Yeah, I was
you're
actually
white
raised
trash.
in 2 trailers.
That's even better.
My grandma had one and my grandpa had one on the same property. They made it work. Yeah.
Sounds like a trailer, excluding lot fees, sold for $350,000 for a trailer, dude. A trailer. What is that? What is that?
That's crazy.
I can go home right now and buy 3 4-bedroom houses for that price.
Yeah.
And actual acreage along
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
So I could rent out 2 houses, make back that $300K, and then have my own house.
Yeah, but who are you gonna rent out the houses to?
Dude, me! There's all kinds of people that want to be back there. I would be back there if I could, you know this.
Yeah.
But no, there's people that need houses that will buy them, yeah, for sure. Or rent them. Anyways, people. So, the people are, and I don't like, I don't like the word luck, but I try to only use it in 2 instances. With my family, I feel like I've been lucky.
And when you get laid.
You can't, yeah. That is 100% luck. Ask any girl that, yeah. So, with my family, because you can't pick them. You can't pick your family. You're stuck with what you got. And then, I mean, you can pick your friends, but like, you, friends, a lot of my friends, like, I feel like I've been very lucky because I've met some amazing people. And some of them are from here in California, like yourself. But I feel like there is overall a difference. And again, I don't think it's the people themselves. I think it's the overpopulation that does it to us.
Well, yeah.
Now we're a number. Now we're not really a person. And now we're just trying to get past that other number, which is a person. Or we're trying to, like, make our own way, but it's so hard because there's so many people, whether it's making our way financially or just in traffic. And I feel like and I know because it's happened to me in traffic. Like, I've been driving like an asshole, and I'm like, oh no, like, I'm one of them now. Fuck, I didn't mean to do that.
It happened.
It happens.
Eventually,
dude.
you're driving like an asshole with your In-N-Out sticker
Yeah.
on the back.
In-N-Out and Ron John.
Yeah.
So I think that there is because of the overpopulation, I think it lends itself to people being, by and large, not as a whole, but by and large, people are a lot more rude. Because there's so many people, you just need them to get out of your way.
Yeah.
You don't have the time to deal. You don't have the time.
Yeah. Oh
When
my
I'm at
God.
home-
Have you gotten road rage walking in a supermarket?
Yes, dude, yes, all the
Have you
time.
been
I
behind
did it
somebody?
tonight at Walmart.
You have your cart and somebody's in front of you with their cart, and they're just like, I wonder, do I get this kind of pasta?
Get the
sauce?
fuck out of the
Like,
way!
Why?
Yes, and here's the comparison of going back home. So the first time I went back home for Christmas to Missouri, I remember very well walking into Walmart briskly, because when you're in Walmart or any store, like, you've got to get your, and especially because I'm a guy, like, I'm not there to shop for shit. I'm there to get the 5 things I need, and I'm out. And then I get home and remember the 5 things I also needed, and then I have to go back. But anyway, that's another thing. It's true. It happens every time. I went tonight, and there's something right now. I know. Yep, Stuart, you forgot the milk. Like, it happens. So, but I went into Walmart at home in Missouri, and no one, not a single, I walk in, gonna get my 5 things. No one in that entire store, including the staff, were in a hurry. People were wearing their Carhartt jackets and their boots, just like bent over their carts, just like, no, I'm gonna get some bananas and some potato chips. Like, I was like, oh, these are I need to slow down. Like, these are my people, and this is how I should be acting. So I definitely see a big difference when it comes to the way people treat each other, and I don't look at it as the more I think about it, I don't really necessarily look at it as like all these people are rude or they're dicks. Like, I don't think it's that. I think it's just so many of us that we get accustomed to. We're a number and you're a number, and I need to get past you, and I have my things I need to do. Like when I go home and I walk down the street, if I say hi to someone, well, number one, I feel like saying hi to someone. Here I don't. I'm in a hurry. I'm on my phone. I'm working. I'm doing whatever I'm doing, and then I'm going inside. Like I'm not walking very far anywhere. When I'm home, I walk long distances outside, and I feel like saying hi to people because they look like they want to say hi to me.
Yeah.
They're not looking down at their phone. They're not like focused on where they're going. Like it's very much a different atmosphere and different experience.
Yeah, my dad has a little cabin in Utah, in this really rural part of Utah.
That's hard
There's
to say.
There's like 110 people in this town.
Fuck
and
yeah.
so
Do they have a stoplight?
They have no, they do not.
Do they have a stop sign?
They have
a stop sign.
I think they have
a couple.
There's one leaving my dad's house,
awesome.
and it's the only stop signs to get to the main road.
Yeah.
The main road's like, fuck it.
You're gonna get hit.
Yeah.
We're gonna take you out.
We're not stopping. But I would, whenever I would drive his truck to town.
Yep.
To get groceries or whatever from the one grocery store.
Bread and milk.
I would, every time I would see somebody else that was driving a truck going the other way, they would give me, they'd be driving, they'd be driving with their hands on the steering wheel, and then they would
the two fingers.
They would do the two finger, like, yo, hey. And
oh god, I missed that.
Yeah,
Yes, dude.
with every person.
Yep.
Every single
it's the
person.
Same wave.
And then you'd go just a little bit farther away where there's like 10,000 people, and it's like,
get the fuck out of my way.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're the same.
No,
same
it's like, who gives a shit?
Yeah, no one cares.
Yeah.
It's just too many people. Yeah. It's the same state. It's the same people.
Yeah,
it's the same
people,
demographic,
just,
technically.
Yeah, well, okay. So, I think what you're saying is right. Like, I feel like we, as humans, we value things based on rarity.
Yeah.
So, it's like diamonds have uses, but, like, the value that we put on it is mainly because we have to, they're so difficult to come by.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, whenever there's not very many people, if you burn the bridges with 5 people and there's 20 people, you just turned a quarter of the whole thing against you.
Exactly.
You know,
yeah,
but if you know, like I feel like Tinder is a perfect example.
It's
like if you're in like New York, you could just
you can swipe all day.
Goddamn day. You could be like, fuck
You're
you.
swiping the wrong
every
way.
single one.
Left is.
Oh.
That's good. That means you haven't been on it in a minute. I applaud you.
Wait, right means
right is you want them. Left is you don't.
Don't you want them?
Yeah, well,
you're on Tinder.
That's true. Sorry. All right.
What? You just swipe left. You're doing it wrong, dude. No wonder you have no matches. You're like,
I've been swiping the wrong way the whole time.
No.
Why is no one fucking matching me? These assholes.
I keep swiping left and they're not matching with me. But if you were like Tinder in a small town, I opened up Tinder, my app, just to like, let's see,
for the fuck of
there would be pictures of women where their face wasn't even on the profile.
What?
It was just a picture from here down, and it was just like, we have to be very discreet, and it had like a fake name,
shit.
And they didn't want to, it was a small enough town where like
they didn't
want anybody to know that they were on Tinder. It wasn't like acceptable or whatever, but they knew that everybody knew each other.
They're gonna know.
So if you were to burn a bridge or piss somebody off, you're screwed. Out here, I could be like,
burn bridges all day. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I could probably ignore more matches than they could match with.
Yeah.
So it's like,
it's true.
So they value every single person, every interaction, every, a lot more than out here. It's like, if I piss somebody off, well, it's fine. I can meet 20 new people.
It's true. I have thought that's now that it's nice to hear you put it into words, because I know that I've thought that subconsciously, but to consciously think that, I haven't had that thought. But it's so true, and I feel like I don't feel like it necessarily devalues human life as far as a living being, but it devalues humanity, like it devalues people.
Yeah,
I feel like, and again, I could, people know me, I could shit all over California all day. I'm a fan of doing that thing, and I do it a lot. But I really think that it comes down to that. It's just like, it's not that the people are bad, or I don't think that they're bad people at all. I think it's just because I've met you and many other people that are good people that have helped me with a lot of shit. But it's like, there's so many of us. It devalues human life.
Oh, same thing with like whenever my family came to visit us for one Christmas one year, and they're like, "Oh my God, there was a guy that was like homeless." I'm like, "Yeah, dude.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
There's so many. They're all over the place.
They're everywhere. Yeah.
There's probably as many homeless people here as there is in your whole town.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like
Your
just
whole town's
everywhere.
population.
They're like, well, I gave him like $10. Like, hopefully it helps. I'm like,
he probably made $300 today.
Yeah, I hope it helps. But like, yeah, they're like, oh, you just walked right past that guy that like needed help from you. I'm like, everybody needs help.
Yes.
Everybody, like, there's so many people that you get like numb to
100%
to other people, to society, to you know.
Yep, I agree with you 100%. So moving through that, oh no, there was a bit from Doug Stanhope.
What about the puppies?
Yeah. Tell me that. Because I thought that, while it is comedy, I think there's a lot of comedy is rooted in truth.
I love Doug Stanhope, although he's very
I like him.
He's difficult to listen to sometimes because
he's very dry, right?
Very well. He's a little dry, but he just gets really into some. He just keeps going with it forever.
Where someone else would let off, he just keeps railing on it. Isn't he the one that always wears a tie, like a suit and tie? Or am I thinking of someone else?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh,
I feel like I've seen him without a suit and tie.
Like for his specials, like or something, he's always got a suit and tie on. So I must be thinking of someone else. All right.
He's always smoking.
Yeah, I know that I have seen him. He has a special on Netflix.
Yeah, Beer Hall Push or.
Yes. Okay, so that is him. Yeah. Okay.
Right. But I'm pretty sure it's Doug Stanhope. But he's talking about like how if you get a puppy, you're like, oh, like what? I have a puppy. You're so excited
so
for that
awesome, yeah.
But if you were to come home and you like open the door and your house is just full of fucking puppies, just to the rafters, just everything, you'd be like, get these fucking puppies out of here. Like, I need less puppies. I like stepping on it, like trying to get, you know. But if you have the one, so it's just all based off of the rarity.
Yeah,
really
good. I like that. That's a good point. And again, people are special and important and rare, but it's hard to see that when there's so many of us in one localized region.
Yeah, well, and another side effect I feel like that sort of has on the culture or the society is like it tends to, I think, make your relationships, your friendships, whatever, it makes them, it's like an inch deep but a mile wide. Like, I have 30 friends that I'm, like, pretty cool with.
Yeah.
Versus having, like, I have 5 friends that, like, I know.
They know everything about me.
Yeah. So, you have a vast array of acquaintances, but...
Yeah. It's more like work friends, really.
Yeah.
So, like, all your friends are more like work friends than there are, like, actual, like, core friends. Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah, whereas I feel like, you know, my, I go back to, for my cousin's wedding in Nebraska, and he had, like, a whole group of people that were, like, and they had all known each other, and all hung out with each other, and were all, like, 10 of them, and they were all super, super close with each other. Yeah. And they had, like, he was like, it was, like, super difficult picking any groomsmen or anything, because I had every single one. Well, it's like, like, I don't...
It'd be funny to look into the numbers on that, if, like, maybe, like, Midwestern weddings are bigger, or California weddings are bigger for wedding parties.
Yeah.
Because you have that level of friendship that even though it's not deep enough, there's a lot of them, so you feel like you have to ask all of them or something, or you feel like you don't really know any of them well enough, so you have a small bridal party.
So whenever I've always wondered this, so whenever you would have a party, I don't know, did you have parties growing up?
Well, I mean, we didn't have parties, but we had
get-togethers.
I hate that. That's exactly what I was going to say. Definitely had hella get-togethers.
Oh, God. Okay, so whenever you had get-togethers, what was, like, the show-up rate?
Well, see, here's the thing. You have to understand, it's different than what the number you're going for, you're not going to get from me. Because mine was all inside the cult, so it was always the same church members showing up. And they weren't showing up because they wanted to or because they were our friends. They were showing up.
You threatened them, didn't you?
You're
fuckers
like,
show
up and bring that goddamn casserole.
You're out of the club.
No, but it was more like you felt obligated on a religious level, and that's not real numbers.
Did you ever host any kind of?
It was all inside of that, dude. It was all inside the cult always. I wish I could.
Okay, because I'd be interested in hearing, like, because I'll invite 40 people.
Yeah, to a party.
And I'll have, like, 10 show. And maybe I just suck at parties, and
Well,
everybody knows, like,
I think that's the
party.
human condition. I don't think that's a populist thing. I think that's the human condition. Because, okay, so I can speak from being an adult and being married and trying to go out to do things like that. And it's just like, you just don't. It's just like, are we gonna go? Like, I don't know, like this.
Out here, out there, or both?
Well, both. Yeah.
Really?
You don't want to, like. Again, I don't know. My experience as a married person was different from many.
But like of people that would say, like, I'll be there.
If I said I'll be there, here's the thing though. You have to understand, if you're inviting someone that is in a relationship, if it's a manipulative type of relationship from the other end, they may have every intention and absolutely want to go, but not be able to. I have invited friends. In the past, I had invited friends over and then was told at the last minute that they couldn't come by someone very close to me. And so they didn't. So I had to tell them, even though they were on their way to my place from San Diego, they had to turn around and go back. It would go to that level. So if you're asking someone that's in a relationship, and it may not be the healthiest relationship, they may have every intention of coming and not come because of that other person.
I don't usually ask people that are in relationships.
Well, then you suck at parties.
Yeah. maybe that's my problem.
No, I'm sure you don't.
If I invited 40 people that were in relationships, I get like 2-for-1 deals. I get one person to show up and they bring another.
That's true. That's true.
So maybe I get better at
I don't know. I think maybe try it. See what you get.
Okay.
I don't know. Try it. But yeah, it's hard for me to speak to that. Like Midwest parties, like I didn't have any. I didn't go to any.
Okay.
Not real ones, you know.
Yeah, because
mostly
I feel
potlucks.
like people are flakes out here. I feel like people.
I was a flake. I 100%. Like if not me now. Like if I don't have my kid and you invite me to something, like you know me, I don't come to like.
Well, I don't care if I invite somebody and they don't show up.
But
if they say I'll be there and
if I say I'll see,
oh my God.
If I say I'll see, I'm not coming. I'll see if I can make it.
Yeah,
I'm not coming. And if someone says that to me, I'm like, fuck you, you're not coming.
I feel like you've never said I'll see. I feel like you've just been like, yeah, I can't. No.
Because usually it's Chloe. Because Chloe's a hard stop. If I have my kid,
Yeah.
I'm just like, dude, is it a thing I can bring my kid to? I'm there. But like, hey, come over, let's get some drinks. I got my kid, can't do it. Like, that's different, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, if I don't have her, you know, and I'm not, and it's money too. Like, if I don't have Chloe and it's not gonna cost me a lot, I'll be there.
Yeah.
You know, for sure. Or I don't have to drive. What was that thing?
But then again, I feel like it's weird because we live pretty far apart.
Yeah.
And I feel like we see each other almost as much as a lot of the people that are like, it's
way
like,
close, or they don't see you that much, even though they're very close. They live close.
Yeah.
That is annoying. I agree. Like, I don't know. For me, I'm different now. Like, I just don't. My circles out here is really small. Like, and I'm not gonna start naming people off, but it's 10 or less that I try to hang out with consistently. And it's like, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. And a lot of them have either significant others or spouses. And nothing against them. It's just like,
there's your problem.
Hey, you should be divorced. Like me, I'm super happy. I am. But like that's another thing. You have to, like, if they have kids and or spouses, it's like those are other not bad things, but variables where it's not like it's just you, so you can show up. Like you're an asshole, you didn't show up. It's just you. Well, no, I have a kid. I have this. Like,
I have considerations.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So, moving on. I think it is funny to talk about. Of course, if you go down south, there's a huge accent difference you can hear. I've been paying. We're not going to get into it.
How about some pie?
Gomer Pyle shit. I've been paying very close attention to the news lately. The Roy Moore situation has been on a lot, and they're all from Alabama. So they're all like, "We love Jesus down here, and I'll tell you what, we have some chitlins and fried chicken," and it's just like it's a very specific, very obvious accent. Whereas I feel like California, there are a couple types of accents that may not be that obvious if you're not from here. And in the Midwest, I really hate myself because I can't do it right now. I have to go home and hear it, but I can do it. The Midwest, there is like a backwoods accent. It's not, it's a hint of a Kentucky thing because we're on the border of Kentucky. It's a hint of that Southern Kentucky type accent, but it's not really strong. And if you aren't from there, you'll hear it in an instant. You'll be like, why are you saying that? And there's words like I don't say you guys. I say y'all all the time. People are like, are you Amish? Like what? Because I did get it from my Amish.
I say y'all too.
Do you? Good.
Yeah.
I like it, but there's no twang like y'all. It's just y'all.
Well, what the fuck else are you supposed to say?
You guys. You guys. And that is a lot of people in the Midwest do say you guys. But
you can't say guys out here.
That's true. Yeah, it's got to be gender specific or very, very non-specific.
Y'all.
Yeah. I feel like that saves me sometimes. I don't say guys, so that helps me. But I feel like I know in the Midwest there's very much a accent. It's hard to replicate. If I could have someone on right now.
Okay, so I had I thought it was hilarious. So I went out to Nebraska during the solar eclipse.
Oh yeah.
And the funniest, I was making fun of everybody I met because of it. They wouldn't say eclipse. They'd be like eclipse.
Eclipse. Okay.
Like E dash.
Okay.
Like not
so
like
we
E
do,
male.
yes.
Like eclipse.
So
like the eclipse.
Yes.
The eclipse. Like they almost had the eclipse.
Eclipse.
Like they were
hey, the eclipse.
Like,
Calm down on the E.
Yeah.
That first E. Why don't you pronounce the last one? It's an eclipse. E.
Eclipsey.
Eclipsey. There's that, and there's you're supposed to say Italian food, right? Not
Italian.
Yeah. We say
Italian.
Italian.
Yeah.
As in, you're not supposed to say that.
Yeah.
Do you say Italy? No, you say Italy.
I say
Italian.
Italy.
So that was that's something that I've been recently. They've been like, we're not going to the Italian Olive Garden. We're going to the Italian Olive Garden.
And a lot of my family says it. I know. I assume they better be fucking with me. But they always say California.
Oh yeah, and that's definitely another one is Illinois.
Illinois.
There is an S, but it's silent. Like I don't know why they put it on there, but you don't say Illinois. You say Illinois. In the Midwest called Illinois. But there's that, and then in California, there is definitely what they would term a Valley Girl accent, which is like I totally went to the mall today.
Like, oh my god.
Yeah, and it's a lot of A is O. Totally went to the mall today. Like that's an over accentuation, but I think that's
well, an upspeak.
Yes.
It's like,
oh yes.
There you
oh
go.
my god.
Where like the
Totally
start
went
and
to the mall
you.
today? Yeah, at the end. Which there's a sales thing with that. Where you're not supposed. That's the opposite of proper sales. Sales is at the end you.
Well, you never buy anything from dumb people.
That's true. No, but I was taught that in sales, like, because that is saying that's a question when you come up at the end. That's a question.
Yeah.
And then if you come down at the end, it's a statement.
Right.
Like,
Right.
Did you want to buy this thing? Or
yeah,
did you want to buy this thing right now? Buy it.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
okay,
yeah.
like,
It comes off as very unconfident. Like,
yeah,
I'm sorry for being here and talking to
I
you,
didn't
but
mean to.
yeah,
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you're
So
like, yeah.
That's one, and then another one. Actually, Tom Segura and his wife talked about the other day was vocal fray. Or fry. I think it's fry. I think it's fry. I think I spelled it wrong. That was a mistake on purpose. Yeah, there it is. So I totally wanted to. Totally is a big one too. When I went home 2 years ago, I'm gonna say this a lot. We were talking about Midwest. I went home 2 years ago for Christmas, and T-Mobile's fucking me over, like, because even though they bought out AT&T or they were partnered with AT&T, and I was using AT&T's towers, I was still somehow going over. Like, it would say in the top left, it'll say what carrier you're running off of. It kept saying AT&T, and they're like, well, you've used all your roaming. I'm like, number one, I never knew I was roaming. Number two, I'm on AT&T towers. Aren't you guys homies? Oh, yeah, we bought them out. Okay, what the fuck is the problem then? Well,
wait, T-Mobile bought them out?
I don't know who it was, but, like, AT&T and T-Mobile are partners.
Oh, okay.
They're together.
You should have got Viera Wireless.
Well, I fucking didn't, and I won't. I promise you, I'll be home for 2 weeks, and they're going to give me all kinds of shit. I'm going to pay more money. But, like, I was on the phone with the guy trying to figure it out, and apparently I said totally a lot, which is not a thing we say in the Midwest. And as soon as
you said it?
Oh, dude, a bunch. I say it all the time now. I totally say it all the time. I got off the phone, and everyone in the car, my sister Lydia, my brother Andrew, my dad, were all just like, what's up, dude? Totally, totally, totally. I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, dude, you said it at least 300 times.
What about dude? What about dude?
Oh, dude all the time.
Yeah.
Dude, I say dude all the time.
I call everything dude.
Yeah.
Anything to be a dude. I probably say as many.
Couch over there.
Yeah, I probably say as many exasperated dudes like, dude.
It's an expression. It's not a person or a thing. It's an dude.
Yeah.
Very true. My other problem is I have to be careful because now I started watching Parks and Rec again. I get all Rob Lowe on literally. Literally, like I say it way too often and I overpronounce it all the time. Because there are so few things in the actual universe that are absolutely literal, and for you to overuse it is just annoying. Like, no, there's not literally like all these things. Like, I'm literally so tired, and go to sleep. Stop being literally tired.
It's exaggeration.
100%.
Yeah.
So there's Vocal Fry, there's Valley Girl, I'm sure there's more. Something else that I've experienced, and it may be the world over, but again, because there's more people here, I think I've experienced it more here. Merging. Now, I know that merging is not easy, and I know that the zipper method is supposed to work.
Wait, merging like...
In lanes.
Okay.
And traffic.
Okay.
So I'm familiar with all that, but it feels like out here, I'm going to break this down for you, everyone. It feels like out here, especially because we have highways out here that are not way too wide because they're still backed up, but like they're like 4 or 5 lanes wide. And I feel like people get right to the point where they need to exit, but they're in the far left lane of 6 lanes, and then they've got to get all the way over. I feel like I don't see that as much at home as I do here.
How many times is there even 6 lanes?
Okay, 4 lanes, whatever, dude.
You're like, I gotta get into the right side of this 1 lane.
Shut the fuck up. Okay, 4 lanes. But I'm trying to exaggerate. You're fucking it up.
It literally
there were 12 lanes.
28 lanes, dude.
Dude, there were literally 12 lanes. So 4 lanes. Let's say 4 lanes. But it just feels like that happens all the time, and that fucks up all the traffic flow because this person is basically parked. Well, everyone in this lane is speeding past him. He's got to find somewhere to whip in. I don't know. That's just me. But I feel like merging the world over could be done better. But I feel like out here it's done the worst. That's my opinion.
You know, it's like you have to kind of trust that everybody trying to figure out what's best for them will ultimately lead up to being what's best for everybody.
Yeah.
But
it doesn't work that
like
way.
if everybody takes care of themselves, we'll all be taken care of.
Actually,
but it doesn't because
no.
It's not that they're taking care of themselves, it's that they're taking care of themselves at the last fucking second.
Yes, exactly.
And they're like,
yes.
Oh, this is an emergency now. Like, dude.
No, you could have turned around at the next exit, dude. It's not an emergency all of a sudden. There's one, I can't remember.
The only time it's an emergency, and I've almost done this before, is when you're going south on the 15. And if you go south on the 15 enough, you become in a different country.
Yeah, you're Mexico.
You're in Mexico. So there's like one part where it's like, seriously, like
you really should.
Like, if you don't have
a passport and you're not trying to get raped,
you're
you should
entering
really
a different country if you don't get off this exit.
And coming back, it takes forever, but going in, it doesn't take long.
Going in, they're like, yep,
fuck it,
yep,
come in.
Yep.
Are you white? Yeah, we can fuck you up. Get in here.
Whoever, yeah, just keep them coming.
It's true. Yeah, but that's a good point. Like, you're really okay.
At that one, if I saw somebody on like the far side of 6 lanes and they were like, "Oh fuck," and they went all the way across,
totally
I'd be like,
man.
"All
I
right,
get it.
all right."
This is the one exit in the country.
All the other ones. There's so many other ones. That's just one. That's literally one.
Yep, that is true. That's a good point. Oh god. All right, and then I think.
But I thought whenever you were saying merging, I thought of that as like
merging onto
people
the
are
freeway?
getting onto the freeway.
Yeah.
Which that pisses me off so much because if I'm on the freeway already, I'm not merging. I'm not merging with these people. They're merging with me.
Yeah.
They gotta figure out their shit going on. Yeah, they gotta get onto the freeway. I'm already on the freeway. I already went through my merge earlier.
This shit.
Yeah, I did my merge successfully at an earlier point in this trip. And so
it's your job to figure
now
out
you
your
figure
shit.
out how to do it. I already figured it out. I'm a veteran here on the freeway.
I'm a veteran as of 5 minutes ago, 2 exits back. You're not. You're a fucking rookie.
Get up to my speed.
Get on my level. I love it.
Yeah, awful.
And the other, I think one of the biggest differences, and God, I could go on global warming forever because it is real and people are stupid, but the weather.
Wait, man-made global warming?
Oh God, are we doing this? No, okay, I can't.
I'm just asking one simple question. I don't disagree in global warming.
God made it, not man.
I didn't think you even.
I just want to fuck with you because you're fucking with me.
Okay,
no, it's got to be man-made. No?
I don't know.
Dude, when you fly into LA and you see the fucking smog, don't tell me that doesn't play into global warming.
Well, yeah,
it's a layer of smog.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
How does that go over the whole? Never mind. There's cycles. The world goes. There was an ice age. Was that a man-made ice age? Was that a man-made? We go cycles.
So let me tell you, everyone, really quick.
Up, down.
I just went out of my depth with Trenton. I made a horrible error. So we're not going to talk about global warming. because I don't know what the fuck.
I
But
don't either. I'm not a scientist.
But it does exist. It is real, whether it's man-made or not. I don't know. I really wanted to find out what he thought, so I could just agree with it real quick and easy. Because that's
always disagree with
I
it.
know.
That's
Fuck
the
that.
most fun
For you, not for me.
for everyone involved. For the
I
podcast.
don't like being wrong. But the weather is, for the most part, is far more temperate out here. Although it is where we are living is
we got way more global warming out here.
Shut the fuck up with global warming. Oh god. But it is more temperate, although it is a desert. There's that, but it is more temperate. There's no winter here. People say that there is winter. What it happens is it gets down to like high 40s, low 50s,
Yeah.
and it rains. That is winter here.
Yeah.
That is winter.
Like, it's winter whenever I occasionally wear shorts, and then I'm like, oh, I should have brought,
worn
like,
pants.
pants. And then I'm like, well, I mean, I'm not that cold, but
I'm not that cold. I'm going
I'll
right into
just,
the
yeah,
office.
yeah. All of the times I've ever been really cold here can all be solved by me just, like,
Putting on
sucking it
pants.
up a little bit
Yeah, or
and putting on
something,
pants, yeah.
Exactly. I remember when I was far more enlarged in the stomach region, I was working in an office where we kept it pretty cold. And then I remember winter came and I didn't have, like, all I had was, I had gotten fat, like, over the summer, so I didn't have anything but shorts. And I would, like, go to office and it'd be super cold in the office because all I had was shorts. But, yeah, that's it. Like, winter is not like you're going to get frostbite. It's like you're going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
Because you're wearing shorts, not pants.
No, and it's nice, but it
It
doesn't
is nice.
feel like
I
doesn't
agree.
feel like winter.
It doesn't feel like winter, and for me, with the love of Christmas, like it's a bummer for me for that. But again, it is nice that it's more temperate.
Have you ever yelled, like, exclaimed from the top of your lungs, like, for the love of Christmas?
No, but I should do it before
Okay.
this podcast is out. Forecast.
My podcast.
Might as well be filming it on the iPhone. So, the weather's more temperate. There is no winter. However, especially more recently, there's been a great deal of fire.
Yeah.
A lot of fire, like a couple miles away fire. And
Yeah.
you...
We were
pretty damn
both,
close.
we were both dealing with our own different.
We both texted
Fire.
each other the same day. Trenton texted me all caps, "Are you on fire?" I was like,
He's like, no, are
"No,
you?
are you?" And then a couple days later, "Hey, if you're not scorched, I'm trying to do a podcast this weekend, so come through."
Like, I'm not on fire yet. I'll be over.
I'll be there.
Yeah, it's. I think there were what 6 or 7 different large-scale fires going on.
Here's what got me with the last one, which was just over in Elsinore, was the last one that was close to us. Did you see that one or no?
Mm-mm.
Dude, there was a solid one in Elsinore. Came over the Ortegas.
Oh,
guy
really?
A guy, total idiot, was on some trail, not Ortega Highway, but that region. He was on some trail with his dirt bike, wrecked his dirt bike, and
Oh,
left
and
his
it,
phone in his truck. Yeah, kept running. Had left his phone in his truck like 2 miles away because he was on his dirt bike. So he had to run back to his phone to get. He's trying to turn it off, wouldn't turn off. Flame lit, and it's hot out here right now. There's no rain. It's a tinderbox. Runs back to his runs back to his truck. Doesn't have signal. Has to drive till he gets signal. Then calls the fire department, and we're fucked.
yeah.
So like I watched, dude. I stood out here on the street on this.
Kill
Not
switch.
Jackson, the one over. Yeah.
Kill switch.
Yeah.
There's a button,
Yeah.
and you press the button. Never mind.
Beautiful.
Yeah, never mind.
But it didn't happen. So anyways, I watched that fire like from my apartment. So that was not the road outside. That was not fun. What was I gonna tell you about that one? God damn it. Fire.
Well, you
I
don't believe
like
in
it.
God,
I
but
don't-
you'll use his name. You'll use his name.
all the time. Shit. But that one was scary because that one I could actually watch the flames burn, and that was, I don't know why I wanted to tell you about that one. Something about it, but that one for me, this one was actually closer more recently. But that's something.
It wasn't as big though.
Wasn't as big, yeah.
Oh well, so I think.
And this one took forever to get contained too. That one didn't. The one from the more recent one got contained quicker, and that one was not getting contained.
Yeah, well, I think what happened with the one, the Liberty hashtag Liberty Fire.
Oh, that's what. Sorry, can you remember that thought? Because I remember mine. Okay, I went to because I thought like, man, this fire's right here. It's big. Like it's not contained. Like this is a big deal. And so Twitter is a great place for news updates. I really feel.
Yeah, it's the only. So I don't like Twitter like 99% of the time.
Anything else?
But whenever there's like some shit going down,
I'm
I'm like sitting there refreshing one tag or another tag. Yeah,
day.
yeah.
So I went and I thought, well, Cal Fire's gonna have a lot of updates. This fire is going right now. Nah. Like, the last update was from, like, 2 hours ago, and then 20 updates after that about other way bigger fires. And I was like, oh, shit. Like, California has so many fires all the time.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, when your 6,000 acre fire is not at the top of the priority list. Yeah.
You know we're burning to the
With
ground.
0% containment, they're like, yeah, that's low.
Yeah, we'll get to it. There was a girl from work, Rachel. I think you know Rachel. So Rachel has a roommate who is a firefighter, and she was at work while this fire here in French Valley area Marietta was going on. And I asked her, I was like, dude, this is bad. Like, it's still 0% contained throughout the day. It was 0%, 0% contained. Like, you know, we're fucked. And she's like, nah. She's like, my roommate's a fireman. He didn't even get called out. They have a party tonight. He's going to that instead. I was like, what the fuck? We could be dying. She's like, no, it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Like,
well, so here's
not
the
a big
thing
deal.
that people don't really know is that containment doesn't necessarily mean, like, how much the
Explain
fire's
that,
out.
because I didn't know that.
So, let's say there's a fire in the middle of the forest somewhere. Humans never even notice it. They never even go to fight it. It would
burns
never
out.
go more than 0% contained. Because it was never contained by humans.
Okay.
So
But it
the
can't be
containment is not necessarily a level of how vicious or how much it's spread or
Right.
how much it's gone. It's just a measure of how much firemen, humans, whatever,
Have
been
manipulated.
able to create a containment line, which is
Oh. Yeah, I've seen
100
them
feet
drop it.
of clear.
Oh, okay.
So if a fire is
Very
burning,
interesting.
yeah, so they measure, like, there's a mile here, and of that mile, 3/4 of a mile has 100 feet of clearance from the nearest flammable object.
Got it.
So that is, 75% contained. But if there was never anything and it just burned down on its own,
Yeah.
it would never go more than 0% contained.
So a fire could technically burn out completely, cause no damage to human life or structure, and still be 0%
yeah,
contained.
yeah,
It's very interesting. I didn't know that.
yeah. So that's like a measure of how people are dealing with it,
Right.
and less how the fire is doing as a whole.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah.
So I think we'll end on that. It's a good podcast. It went way longer than I thought it would.
Yeah, it did. Well, I kept just bringing up
always does.
random.
No, it's good though. Like it's
Things.
good conversation. I appreciate it. And to those of you watching, wow, what did we hit? Yeah, we had like 5 minutes of bullshit. So yeah, dude, like almost an hour and 40. That was good. Those of you watching, I want to say thank you for tuning in once again. This guy deserves a big thanks. He's done a lot to make this podcast happen. It's not up yet, but now I'm going to say it because this will put flame to my feet now that we're talking about fires. He actually got a domain for us. That may mean nothing to some of you, but to me it means a lot. He actually put aside some time and money and actually bought a domain for us, so we have a website, which I need to work on now. But I want to publicly on the podcast say thank you for that. That means a hell of a
You're very
lot.
welcome.
And he's done a lot to make sure this podcast happens. He doesn't drive. When he's on the podcast, he doesn't drive 5 minutes to be on the podcast. And we referenced that in Friends earlier, but he drives 45 minutes, half an hour to be here. So very grateful to
Three different fires.
Technically, that's not a lie. But
Not for this one.
no, not for this one. Maybe next. Hopefully, not ever again.
Yeah.
But I just want to say seriously, thank you. It means a hell of a lot. I'm very grateful. And for those of you that are still watching, super grateful for you guys as well. We'll continue to bring you podcasts, hopefully a little bit more consistently. We've had some off weeks here and there, but I don't know where this will fit in with Christmas, with the holiday season, but I'm not the person that has to say happy holidays, even though I don't profess to be a Christian anymore. I don't have a problem saying Merry Christmas, pagan holiday, whatever it is. Like, have a Merry Christmas, have a happy holiday, whatever it is you celebrate. If you take time to get together with family, friends, or if it's just you and you just get a day to relax and take some time off and watch a movie you like, eat some pizza you like, have
Smoke some weed with your
smoke
friends
some
or
weed
whatever.
that you like, whatever
Who
it
cares?
is, fuck it, whatever it is.
That's
that,
California Christmas.
that's
I guess, yeah.
That's a Snoop Dogg Christmas. But whatever it is, if there's a time of year and it's around December, if it's around the 25th, and you get to have some time for yourself and just enjoy and relax, good for you. Have fun, enjoy, do your thing, but whatever it is, it doesn't have to be ascribed to a higher power, and if it is, cool. Do your thing, have fun. I'm happy for you. I've said that, I am making it religious again, I know, but I've said it so many times, and I feel like it needs reiterated often. Like, I want people to know that I'm not trying to attack anyone's traditions or religions. if you have things that you're doing, especially around the holiday season with friends and family that you enjoy, do those things. Have fun. It's great. Good for you. And I don't mean that in a condescending way. I'm legitimately happy for you. I'm happy for me. I'm going to go home for Christmas. I'm going to go to church like 2 or 3 times. I'm not a churchgoer, okay? But I'm going to go to church. I'm going to be with my family. We're going to pray. We're going to eat. I'm going to have a good time. I don't have to judge anyone for
Are you going to
anything.
close your eyes when you pray? Are you going to keep them open in defiance and, like, look around like, I'm not closing my eyes.
I did that.
I'm
You
not
know what?
closing my eyes.
I did that when I was a child. I don't do it so much now. In fact, I was at Princess for Christmas or for Thanksgiving. We go every year, and his mom prayed, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna close my. I was very proud of myself for closing my eyes. I actually closed my eyes and smiled
right
like,
now. Close my eyes for Christmas.
Total adult. So totally. So I don't know. That was just my little appeal at the end. If this does come out around Christmas, I want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas. Wish you a Happy Holiday. Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, New Year, Boxing Day, whatever it is, have fun, enjoy yourself, have a good time with family. Thanks again for being on, Trenton. I
Happy
what a
to be
delightful
here.
Christmas sweater and some delicious eggnog, and the rum is kicking in now, so I'm going to let you guys go before I get any more wasted.
Let's go get some In-N-Out.
Yeah! We'll do that. That's exactly what we're going to do right now. All right, thanks, guys, for coming along with us. Appreciate you being here.
How do we end this?
Oh, my God. Just let it end. Every time. Just let it fucking end.